Hello, I'm Jeff McShan, and you're listening to CSCD Radio. A new innovative way to keep you up to date with the latest news involving our department. We welcome your feedback. In this episode, you'll meet our recovery coaches, listen in on one of their sessions, and you'll hear from our Assistant Director, Dr. Brian Lovins. But first,
I told everybody to get down on the ground, face down on the ground. I ended up taking the weapon from the security guard that was supposed to be watching over the place. We found the manager. We got to the money.
At the age of 22, Jose Villatoro committed his last robbery. With two other men, he stormed into a Houston area illegal game room. But their quest for all the cash didn't go as planned.
Someone ran out. I don't know who it was. Someone ran out and waved down a cop that happened to start passing by. And so by the time we was coming out, we were already being surrounded. So I just took off running with this giant big box of money and holding a pistol in the other hand and jumping fences trying to get away. But I got pinned in. The cops pinned me in, and that was a pretty scary situation. My partner was intoxicated. He was running and jumping the fences behind me, but by the time we got to the other side of the fence, cops surrounded us, so I dropped my weapon and the box of money, put my hands up because I knew we were caught in the wrong and we had weapons drawn on us. But my friend, he refused, and he went underneath his shirt, grabbed two pistols and pointed them at the cops. I'm like, oh man, we did.
The cops, one of them a rookie, amazingly didn't shoot. Jose was able to talk his friend into surrendering, and the robbery trio went to jail. Where is Jose now? He was recently assigned to our North region. And no, he is not a client. He has an office up on the 3rd floor. Jose works for the Houston Recovery Center. He is a licensed recovery coach. His job is to help our clients. And he and his partner, Coach Lisa Marie Rizzo, are part of a pilot program CSCD is trying out at the North region.
When we first started, a lot of the CSOs didn't know we were here. We've gone to quite a bit of some of the meetings, kind of give an overview of what our role is here. We want to be able to bridge the gap between the CSO and the client because we've been there, done that.
Lisa had a substance abuse problem and as a result spent a lot of time in jail. Off and on, about 12 years total. That included time in prison.
I had some trauma and abuse when I was young, and I know that that plays a big role in why a lot of people have addictions that they have. So I self-medicated at a young age. And that's how it started.
For Jose, his problems began early in his life when his mother was sadly walking the streets on Houston's infamous Telephone Road.
My mother was a working lady, and so I didn't know how to deal with that, so I took to the streets. By the time I was 13, I was already a full-blown alcoholic and drug addict. By the time I was 17, I was in and out of justice institutions and prisons until I was 29, when I was released out of TDCJ after doing 7 years. By that time, I had done about a quarter of my life in prisons, jails, institutions. I now have a relationship with my mother and stepfather. It may not seem or sound so significant, but you would have to understand everything that I had to go through with them in order for you to understand that. But it was a big deal for me in my life that we are now have. It's more of a miracle that we do have a relationship.
This is something that you have experienced, so does that make you feel better in your job knowing that you can turn people's lives around because you've been there and done that?
Most definitely, because I can always utilize what helped me to help them walk on a pathway to recovery or sobriety. It always helps because you know how it feels to be lost and how hopeless you can be, and then from going to that to being able to help someone and walk them through it step by step, and you know what it is, you know how it goes, and so you give them you can paint a better, broader picture for them and how they can get through it, and it makes it that much more easier rather than someone who does not know and someone who has never been there.
And we're just want to be able to be an extra support system for both sides. That kind of educates the CSO a little bit more on addiction and the behavior, and that it's not an overnight thing. It's a process. It doesn't happen in a day. I mean, it's in a lifestyle.
Peer support is huge, and since the state of Texas doesn't allow its agencies to hire people with criminal records, this relationship we have with the Houston Recovery Center is essential. With them, we increase the odds of changing lives. Here's Dr. Brian Lovins.
So one of the really cool things about recovery coaches that we found out really through the RIC experience is that they provide a ton of support to our justice-involved folks that we work with in a different way. We expect officers to build rapport and relationships with clients, but the truth is recovery coaches can extend a little bit further and on a little different route. Their lived experience gives them an opportunity to have conversations with clients that our staff can't. And we've seen through the last 2 years the power that the recovery coaches have in helping people change and reduce barriers in RIC. And we're excited to expand that to the field. The officers struggle at times with helping people reduce barriers and also keeping people engaged when they start to struggle. And so one of the things that we envision the recovery coaches being able to do is really close the gap with folks in the field or folks being seen by probation officers to help make them more successful. And we are, as an agency, dedicated and to making people's lives more successful. And we see that the recovery coach is a win-win for us, for the clients, and for the community.
And the relationship is working. Last week, one of our clients agreed to let us briefly tape a conversation with Coach Rizzo.
Hi, this is Miss Lisa. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good. I'm a recovery coach, and I work with the probation department. Can you tell me, what's going on with you? If you got time, if you can talk for a minute?
To be honest, I'm eating so I can get ready to go to work, but I can talk to you real quick.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, well, I don't want to hold you if you got to go to work. What is it that you may be needing some extra support with?
I'm not sure. I just don't know. It's just that I told my mom, sometimes I feel like I really can't talk to my family members because they don't know how I feel or what I'm going through.
I get it. Yeah, sometimes it's like that.
And I don't think they'll understand, and I don't want them to be judgmental towards me, like, oh, there you go again.
Right.
I'm like, no, it's not that I want to go back out there. It's just a craving that hits me out of nowhere.
I understand. Yeah, I do. And it really doesn't mean that you really want to go out, because if you wanted to go, you would go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I live right down the street from a dope house that I know very well.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to do use, I would have been gone a long time ago.
What's your drug of choice, sweetheart?
Crack cocaine.
Okay. I smoked 15 years of my life every single day smoking crack. Hustled, lived
When I was 13.
Lived the street life, I did a lot of that. And this is my number to the office. What I'm going to do is after this, I'll just send you a text so you can have my cell phone number. And you're working, so that's good. Where do you work at?
In downtown, I work for a cleaning service.
All right, that's what's up. That's good.
I've been holding the job down. This is my first job ever, and I've been holding it down for about going on 6 months in November.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to give you props for that. That's really good. And you work in the evening, right? Kind of nighttime?
Yeah, it's 5 to 10.
That's what's up. That way it keeps you out of trouble.
Yes, ma'am.
But just know that I'm here, and anything that you need, any resources, if you need help, getting a gold card, getting your ID, whatever I can do that's going to make your recovery easier,
Yes, ma'am.
that's what I want to be able to do. I'm not a probation officer. I'm not a policeman. I'm not, any of that. How long you been using?
Since I was 13.
How old are you now?
I'm 32.
All right. Yeah, it's like me. But we'll talk more. I'm going to let you go ahead and go, and you have a great weekend. And if you got to call me on the weekend, just call me. If I don't answer right away, I'll call you back.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sweetie.
Thank you.
God bless you, okay?
Yes, ma'am. You too.
All right, bye-bye.
So right now it's a pilot program at our North region. What do you envision?
I envision every person or every client who doesn't have social support networks around them having available a recovery coach. And so I imagine this extending, right? We start to think about how do we connect people from day one of court to their first office visit. We start thinking about how do we work and wrap around services to folks that we have already identified as more than likely going to struggle.
So to expand the program is a no-brainer. Our leadership is looking into a variety of funding options to make it happen. We hope you enjoyed this edition of CSCD Radio. I want to thank Lisa and Jose for sharing their stories with us. I welcome your thoughts, questions, perhaps ideas for a future episode. Let me hear from you. My contact information is on the icon you clicked to listen to this podcast. Also note the department has a Facebook and Twitter page and a YouTube channel. Join, follow us, get involved. You've been listening to CSCD Radio. I'm Jeff McShan.